Does anyone else have a problem like mine? It's the kind of problem where I would stand up in front of a group and I would say, hello, everyone. My name is Cheryl, and I'm an email addict. I'm the kind of person who sits in my office, and even though my husband is 2 rooms away, I type him a message. If anybody else is so reliant on their phone or their laptop or their tablet that they would go into withdrawal if deprived, then I think this video message is for you. So, as I said, my name is Cheryl Crumb, and I'd like to welcome you to Rule of Crumb. And today what we're going to talk about is what is the effective use of emails in business communication. So let me share my screen with you. Okay. While we talk about the effective use of emails, the do's and the don'ts, what I think we're going to find is the don'ts are more important. What do you think is the biggest problem that happens with email communication? Well, it's there we are typing away when really what we should be doing is having a real life, real person conversation, face to face or ear to ear. Because as George Bernard Shaw said over 100 years ago, the single biggest problem in communication is the illusion that it has taken place. So the only thing that really matters is how the receiver interprets your message, not that you think you sent it. So as I said, really it's the don'ts. When not to use email. Well, that's pretty critical. Examples. If information is confidential, we don't want to use it. What we forget is that emails can go on for generations. They live. There are many celebrities, there are many individuals who have found that they've lost their jobs or lost their reputation because they said something in an email that has been forwarded on, even to the press. We also want to make sure that we don't communicate bad news. So bad news, business, there's going to be a delay, there's a price increase, we've had some quality issues. Because bad news requires a conversation. We'll need to talk to the customer about what happened. What are the actions that we're taking? How confident are we that these actions are going to resolve the issue? What kind of commitments? What help do we need from them? So bad news, when given electronically, sounds mechanical and uncaring. When else do we not communicate by email? Well, when we're blaming or criticizing anyone, or when we're delegating. When we're delegating, we are not dumping information. What we're looking to is we need to explain the context, the desired results, what has to be done and how it has to be done. And that requires, again, a conversation and a dialogue. It's also important never to report any kind of gossip mongering or rumors. And when we look at many projects now, they're so complex that we're not able to separate or segregate all of the key issues. So we need to have a conversation for clarification's sake. When you notice that emails are going back and forth around the same subject, that should be a huge red flag saying, stop emailing, pick up the phone and let's talk. What else? Well, this is one we have to be careful of. When we're angry, when we're upset, what happens? The oxygen in our red blood cells leaves our brain. Goes immediately to our extremities, but as I said, it vacates our brain, and we can turn into irrational animals and say anything. That can harm us forever. So when you're angry, if you feel you must write something, do not put the recipient's name there. Put it on a Word document, put it on your notepad. Let somebody else read it, walk away for 24 hours. And then even if you think it's okay to send, don't. So what we're really saying is that a conversation, a dialogue, is necessary in two kinds of situations. The first one is when we need to resolve differences, when there are issues and problems and misunderstandings. And the second one is when we want to build a relationship. One of the things we know with customers is customers dislike and leave organizations because of the indifference displayed by some supply partner. We're not going to convey that difference or have a less likelihood if we are communicating with that individual. Remember, it's a common mistake to believe that sending information by email is communicating. Now, there are a couple don'ts. So let me share them with you. Forget emojis and forget texting abbreviations. They work fine with your best friend and your children, but not for business. All caps means that you're shouting at individuals. We don't want to CC everybody. People are getting thousands of emails a day, and they don't need to know everything that is going on. Don't have generic subject lines or a subject line that's over 50 characters. I have several individuals who send me emails and the subject line says, hello. Not helpful. Be careful of attachments. We don't want them too big or too small. Don't ask people or don't reply in the middle of a conversation. This is very difficult for those people who are using their phones where they have to scroll up and down to find your response. And if you send delivery request receipts, stop it. They're annoying. In terms of some of the do's, well, we already talked about that subject line. Make sure that it's a summary. Make sure that it is less than 50 characters. Keep your email short. You want it on one screen only. Use bullet points, use numbers. In terms of formality, it's almost as formal as a letter. So remember what our mothers told us years ago: hello, goodbye, sincerely, thank you, full sentences. And then finally, there are some actions or some good ideas that we can incorporate. One of them is put our actions requested at the top of the email rather than at the bottom. That way they'll see it before they skim through and get lost or delete it. Always have a new email thread for each email rather than combining everything. And make sure you include deadlines. So let me stop the screen share and come back to you. It's great if you want to become an email ninja. That's wonderful. It's a terrific asset for business. But most importantly, know when not to use it. Don't forget the personal connection that we need with people. So thanks again. This is Cheryl Crumb signing off from the Rule of Crumb, and I look forward to seeing you next week.